Taking my old literature. Wait, hold on. I gotta, wait, hold on, let me get out of here. I found some old stuff called, this is called A Nice Fan Fiction. I found this and I got I just got memories. I just said, I got better at writing, so I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna read this again. And I'm gonna see, I'm gonna see everything that I did wrong. I'm about to start crying because this, I'm already starting to. I don't even know what I did. I forgot. I know what the story is about. I know what the story is about, but I forgot exactly like what I put into it. So I have to read. I'm gonna read it just to see. And I'm gonna do this with a lot of different fan fictions and stories that I used to write. But this is the first one I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start crying. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it, y'all. Okay, I believe this was really old. I believe I was like 13 or 14 when I made this. Um, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I have to. We're gonna do this. All right. Hey, let me tell you about a great. Let me tell you about a great story. Okay, I thought that was like a semicolon. I'm like, why would I put that? This is a Bluey fanfiction. What if Axtail and its hunger was applied to Bluey? So yeah, of course, this is a fusion between Axtail and Bluey. Axtail is an Undertale AU where the underground was taken over by like this sort of zombie affection called the Hunger. Of course, they were pretty much zombies, except they were smarter. Some of them could talk. They were like they could make decisions. Like the only thing is that they were feral, so they would just like eat each other. Like they it's like zombies, but they were smarter, stronger, and they just ate other zombies. So yeah, they're pretty much worse than zombies. Let's see. Huh? Of course we're not. Of course we aren't going to copy Axtell directly. We are making many changes to diverge it. Okay, so back then I had some pretty good vocabulary. Diverge it. I would have definitely. I probably wouldn't have used that today. I mean, I even though it's a really good word to use, I probably wouldn't have used that today. Mostly because my vocabulary sense sometimes just gets worse. I don't know why. Let's see. For example, Bluey would be a similar age to herself, maybe 1 or 2 years older. Why? Wait, what? Why? Wait, why? What's that have to do? So 7 or 8, and Bingo. So Bluey's already 7. And Bingo wouldn't be born yet, and Axtail, it won't be the exact same. And Axtail, it won't be the exact same plot. While it's going to be similar, it's going to change. Like the hunger would be called the rage. The Rage! Yay! The Rage! It's a really intimidating name. Imagine dying to a disease called the Rage. Okay, so and have different symptoms, but it will be similar to Axel in different ways. You will see soon. Alright, let's see what this is about. I'm already I'm already starting to regret this. Alright. It was a normal day and everyone was enjoying their time. Bluey was on an adventure playing with her friends, and Bingo not being born yet. Wait, what? Oh yeah, Bingo wouldn't be born yet. I did say that. Though Chili was unknowingly preggo, honestly, I probably would have used that word if I created this. Like, if I created this today, I probably would have still used that word, even though I got that. I don't know why I didn't just say pregnant. Prego. No, I guess I just wanted to be funny. Both. Why was she unknowingly pregnant though? Wait, why was unknowingly she didn't know? Both being unaware. They were both unaware. Okay, but everyone was unaware. Oh my god, I use unaware. But everyone was unaware. An eccentric scientist was trying to open a portal to another dimension. It could have ended terribly, but the results weren't any better. It could have ended terribly. It did end terribly. The result. This is a good. This is one of the better things that could have happened. It may. Okay, hold on. He opened up a portal, but it ripped holes in time and space, and it starts to seep radiation, which was breeding a sickness of mind. It made everyone unstable, violence hungry, and in a constant state of rage, and nobody could stop it. So pretty much like this was like the hunger, but instead of feeling constant hunger, you just have like the urge, like the constant urge to just kill someone. You're just so mad that you want to kill someone, and that's pretty much what I was going for. Instead of like feeling hungry, you just want to kill them. All right, let's see. Chapter 2, Escape. This is a short chapter. Um, Bluey was still on her adventure until she had a gut feeling like she shouldn't stay where she was. Then she went back to her house and did something else. She glazed over that. Yeah, man, I don't feel like going. I don't really like this place. All right, well, I'm just gonna leave. That's Her gut was right, as not long after, three people came out of the bushes, feasting on each other with extreme prejudice. That's really smart, though. I like that. I like the fact that I actually used that word. A perceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. I used that really. I used that right. I used that perfectly. Um, from the rage on the TV, there was something. There was a news about an outbreak. Bluey was upstairs playing with her toys, but Chili and Bandit were downstairs watching what happened on the TV. They were appalled and terrified, but they couldn't do anything about it. They started to pack their things as they had no choice but to go and got and got Bluey. They drove to the outside of town and started to walk through. Wait, they start to walk? Wait, why? Why didn't they just drive? Did the road just end? Why they start driving? Why? Okay, right before they could all get out, they were starting to get locked in. Bluey started to know what was going on and wanting to help. She tried to stay with her father to see. I don't like now. Okay. um, to see what was going on. Bandit tried to push her, but it didn't go well, and Ben and Blue were separated from Chili. Bandit tried to break the barrier with a barrier. They just in case how we're not really advanced enough for that. I mean, I guess they are. And it's like okay, but it was no use. Chili had no choice but to leave and go get help. All right, it came in waves. I call it the rage. It they came in raid. They came in waves that makes everyone within a radius of 3 miles to be infected. It would eventually go and spread to others. There was two waves before everyone was either infected or dead. Not many oh my gosh. Not many people survived the first wave, and it leads to the recession of insanity. Recession of insanity? You mean recession of sanity? In many people, the children usually fell prey to the rage of their parents, who would kill and why would they wait? Why would they consume? No, wait. Why would they? This is becoming more and more like Axtale. Why would they consume the? You just get so mad. You just want to eat the person. You just want to beat up the person. Just want to beat them to death and eat them alive. As the rage calls a minor feeling of hungry, but it isn't as potent so it can be temporarily sated. A friend went to the barrier nearly infected, meaning Bandit. It was Pat. He wasn't with Lucky, and Pat refused to say what happened. Pat murdered him. Oh my gosh. Um, Stripe showed up out of nowhere. Pat was slowly being overtaken by the rage. They could see it happening, but they didn't know there were symptoms. There were voices in Pat's head telling him to kill, mutilate, do it. And he nearly had Bandit's eye out, maiming him on the face. Pat came back to his sentence, seeing an out cold Bandit. Okay, think I know. Okay, yeah, this is pretty. This is pretty reminiscent. This is pretty close to. It's already getting exactly like Axtale. This is pretty much Axtale now. This had a apologetic expression, trying to help, but Stripes distrusting Bluey, telling Bandit that he is going to be all right. Knowing Bandit was still alive but was greatly injured, Chili tried to get help, but it seemed it was not meant to be. Something terrible happened to her. Something terrible happened to her. Bandit was bandaged. It was going to take a while to wake up. Bluey mostly ate leftovers from their last dinner and hiding each time someone got in and tried scaring them away, which was mostly successful. Mostly. Bandit finally woke up, but he woke up infected and starving. He went past Bluey without noticing and went to the kitchen, ransacking the trash in the fridge. Bluey noticed and peeked out around the corner, seeing her dad. She was happier and excited. Dad, you're finally awake. Everything could be okay now. I was so worried. Mom should be back soon. Many things. Just gonna move into chapter 5 infections and events. Many things happened after the events. Taken over by the hunger, Pat ran away. His whereabouts are unknown. Stripes was taken over, nearly killing Socks and Muffin. Socks and Muffin escaped hiding somewhere before killing his. Oh my gosh. Chili was picked apart by the bats. Wait, by the bats? There's just bats now. Bats are the new predators of the world now. What do you mean by the bats? Bluey was forced to kill the bats, calling her descent into madness. Chili died giving birth to Bingo. Bluey was the last one taken over by the rage, finally snapping and consuming her best friend's body. Why the fuck? Like, bruh. She is only partially herself now, doing old routines. Bandit found a weapon to defend themselves right before Bluey was infected. Calypso went crazy and accidentally killed herself. So, like, what the Lucky disappeared when Pat was infected. Yeah, I'm like wondering, like, what happened to the two, and more things happened. The place is in devastation and all hope is lost. But maybe there's a little bit of hope still out there somewhere, waiting to come back. Chapter 6 The Beginning. 10 years later, Bingo is 10 and Bluey is 7. From curiosity, Bluey ran away from her home to go to the town. To the town? She knew where there was. It's still infected. 10 years later. It wasn't as how it was described. Everything was in shambles. It was dark. Blood lined the floor. It's unknown how she got there. Of course, it's unknown. Nobody knew how she got there. She wanted to leave, but Bingo couldn't leave. She had no choice but to continue on. She eventually reached an old house, the one that was described to her from her grandfather. Bandit came out. Seeing her as a threat, Bandit tried to kill her. Before a voice shouted, "Stop, Bandit! Stop, Bandit! Don't hurt her!" It sounded like Chili, but it was more static. Like Bingo said, but it was more static like. Bingo said, I want to tell you something. Bandit then replied, "What? Your death wish?" I can't. Um. Before giving off a giggle, Bingo replied, "No, it's a photo. You're my dad." I'm so glad I. Bandit read the letter, feeling shocked and hopeful. Does that mean Chili is still alive? Bingo's expression started to change to sadness. No, Mom has. She's gone. I don't know what happened, but she's been gone before I knew her. She started to tear up. But things are alright. I'm here and we can find a way out. After some time. How does she get in if she can't get out? Okay. After some time, Bingo started to live inside the town. She's gotten used to the musky smell and gotten used to the sight of people killing and or feasting on each other. Whatever it is they did to each other. Whatever it is they did to each other. Yeah, that's kind of scary to think about. While it's still frightening to see it, she has gotten accustomed to it. She has even fed the tainted meat of the people, not knowing the consequences. That. Oh, nah. No, that's actually really good writing there. That's actually kind of really good. Like, I hate to admit it, that was actually kind of good. Eventually, the population has dwindled in the town, and the rage is growing ever more stronger. Hada's Riz has taken over the world. She is at times mentioned wanting to go home and go back, not liking this place. At times, Bluey is removed from her delusion, calling her to turn to a mindless, nearly gouging Bingo's eyes out. Bluey thinks Bingo is chilly, often calling her mom, reminiscing about how she was a child and before everything happened. This is literally Axtale. Come on, y'all. Bandit told her to play along. The only detail she can see in her illusion is how short her mom is and Bandit's eye. She has an imaginary friend who she calls Chloe, which looks like Chloe but with yellow. That's very descriptive. And she's floating with her bottom torso gone. Reminds me of another character, you know? Kind of reminds me. Alright, chapter. This is called Looks. What is. Why? Okay, there's more chapters than I thought. Stripes is still with them, but lives close by, often checking on him to see what's left of the Healer family. He's one of the most sane. He can't talk very well. His voice box was badly damaged, so he only talks when he needs to. He looks relatively the same, but with sharper teeth, with blood on it. Bingo decided to face the reality of the current state now. At times she'll run into trouble, but it's alright. She sleeps in the living room. Rarely, and Bandit rarely sleeps to protect Bluey and Bingo. At times, Bluey goes to Snickers' house, where Coco is there to play date for a play date. They are there. They're a little bit more sane than the most of the infected, so they know when not to kill. This is the closest anyone will ever come to normalcy. Most of the time, most of the other children were killed by their parents, except for a select few. Besides Snickers and Coco, and the parents would take their own lives. Any kids that weren't killed by their parents, the parents would kill themselves for their kids to feed on their dead corpses. Oh my god. Before the kids left, any siblings would devour each other. Why are they devouring each other, bro? And at rare times, when coming to their senses, would keep a memory of their sibling. Judah was one of the lucky few to survive. The moment she saw Change and Wendy, she just left. Coco didn't really change in looks, and Snickers just grew a bit. Okay, so apparently I found I remastered chapter 1 since it didn't make much sense. I found it. The remastered escape plan. Let's see what the hell I did. Let's rewind time back to where they were escaping. Bluey was still on her adventure until she had a gut feeling like she shouldn't stay where she was. Then she went back to the house. So this is what I wrote. This is a story based on the Bluey show. I combine two stories or apply one thing to another story. Anyways, this story is filled with tragedy and darkness. It's very dark and features a bit of gore deeper into the story. You can go AG. So yeah, this is where we left off. So I'm sitting here editing this video and I just noticed, are you having fun yet? I just wrote that. Did I know that I was gonna come and read the story later? Why just are you having fun yet? Was that the message to the reader? Why did I write that? Next, we're going to Playdate. Honey is almost completely blind, so playing is harder to do since they need to watch her most of the time. Most of the kids suffer from similar delusions. If they survive with Rusty, Jack, Winton, Judo, and Missy being the only that survived without the loot. What the fuck? With Rusty, Jack, Winton, you mean Winston? Judo and Missy being the only that survived without delusions. Again, I will go over them later. Again? What do you mean again? The group eventually came up with a game. They called it Run and Find. Huh? It's the twisted game similar to hide and seek where one would find the others and the others would run and hide. And we usually end up in someone getting injured due to one running into a savage, stronger so this is just hide and seek and tag. This is literally just hide and seek. But you just move around. This is hide and seek in the forest. At times they would go to the rotten waters of the beach where blood and entrails would line the sand and bones and trash would be in the water, which would wash up on other beaches outside of town. When they left, they would go back to where they were at times going into hiding. What the fuck is... Okay, sorry about the buzzing sound if you hear that. So nobody got past certain parts. This kind of zero reads. So sorry stories. I'm so sorry for these stories that I'm creating. Most of these kids were for Most kids except for 5 were in delusions. Muffin's delusion. Okay, how many good ending. This is a this is ending. Someone was able to enter the town, knowing Chili as a friend. They were able to know everything that was everything about what was happening here except for the outbreak. They managed to find what was left of the Healer family and help them escape in the town event in turn the town eventually went empty. In turn, the town eventually went empty with nobody reproducing and everyone starved to death. They were all cured, bearing their new looks. Bingo wasn't infected, and they lived free of the hell they lived in. Yeah, just as long as they're safe, screw everyone else. Somebody rescued them, and eventually the Healer family got it all figured out. People ventured into their town, which produced the food, as they were taken by the infected. The town didn't go empty, which left them all stable. They were able to live as a family and a cousin to the events that happened. A slightly twisted family. Alright, what's the bad ending? Bingo eventually got infected and controlled. True ending. ... That's it. There's nothing. The real ending is that it never ends. It'll just return. Also, if you want to, you can make a follow-up, but please credit me. You can also make an alternative ending in parallel stories. This is 3. Who's reading these? People only came for the endings. This has 64 reads. This is 100% complete. What's the bonus? What the heck is the bonus? The bonus is really fucked up. The bonus is really fucked up. I'm not gonna read it because I don't want anything. I don't want this video to get taken down.